Well, let's gather the family around for a grand old topic that has become an American spectacle that we should probably at this point be aware of. Ketamine! Ketamine! Now, this is why I'm confused that, Elon was given his prescription for ketamine, because I always assumed it was over the counter. And so I go to a very progressive, psychological clinic that does, TMI. I got a medical marijuana thing before it was legal for my depression. Every last amazing progressive, therapy that can be offered. And one of them is, it's not the cereal special. Well, Simpsons reference, it is definitely a religion to some. I don't want that. I do not want most people to get that joke unless they know that I don't even have to elaborate to be like Simpsons special K and do that. So, I tried to get this ketamine. I mean, my therapist went to the ketamine ward and it's just like, hey, how about that ketamine? Isn't it great? And they're like, well, how depressed is he? And me and my therapist are like, okay, we got the paperwork. He's tried to kill himself 24 times and has 10 documented occurrences of being involuntarily hospitalized. Is he missing his punch card or what? Because they told me I'm not depressed enough for that. And we went on to be like, well, the whole, should he try to kill himself a 25th time for the ketamine? Because it's like, let's not encourage him to plan it out. So it's like, I'm fine, ketamine, like, no, because this is how ketamine therapy works in a very blue state. There has to be like 30, I think it's more than that, sessions. 2 or 3 times a week for 2 to 3 hours. You're just stuck in a chair, and you have to be monitored because you're doing trip balls and ketamine. Fun, but you can't be driven there, and you can't take your ride home. So essentially, you can't, have a full-time job and get ketamine therapy. So first off, you know how it works. It's like, I can't have a full-time job. Oh man, hashtag antidepressant. But I, in a very blue state, and probably in the most progressive, liberal possible counseling facility imaginable, in I would say the most liberal part of New York State, because at least we don't have any hashtag Brooklyn. I did not qualify for ketamine therapy, even though it had been 7 years of, hey, I don't want to get out of bed. And she's like, hey, you should probably do ketamine, in so many words. And then that came up, and no, I'm not fucked up enough. But the world's richest man in Texas has pulled look, I don't blame Elon. If I was the world's richest man, it would be a non-stop binge fest 3 weeks out of the month, and I spend the other week at some rehab in Hawaii, readjusting my body, and then I get a bunch more ketamine, and then once I start pissing myself, I go back to Hawaii. Like, all I'm going to try to do is not, become part of, I'm just going to, as long as I don't take away Social Security and Medicaid, but I can do all the ketamine and go to rehab in Hawaii, I won't, like, he's this close. But let's also keep in mind, the world's richest man in Texas qualifies for ketamine. I don't. I don't care if that's maybe for the best. On the principle, Ketamine, 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 Ketamine.